Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, guys. How is your life today? I do hope that all of you are in a great condition, yeah? Okay, today we will talk about interesting material. We will talk about the descriptive text. So, I do hope you enjoy our material today. Okay, let's continue to our next slide first. Okay, this is our learning objective. So you have mastered three kind of learning objective in this section: reading, listening, and writing. And then this is the knowledge or skill prerequisite, and then the student Pancasila profile target. You have to become a critical and creative student. Okay, let's check out. This is the first section, reading and viewing student. First time, before we continue to our mind activity, may I ask you, what is your favorite tourism object? Or have you ever visited that tourism object? Or what is interesting or not interesting about that place? And then, if you have answered all of three questions, and then do you know what kind of text that describe particular place or person? Right. Jadi text that describe a particular place or person, we call it descriptive. Okay, now let's continue to talk about the social function, generic structure, and the language feature used. Okay, the social function, just like I said to you just now, descriptive text is used to describe particular person, thing, or particular place. So, if you want to tell me, for example, you want to tell me about Candi Borobudur or maybe another tourism object, you have to use this kind of text. And then, what about the generic structure? The generic structures consist of identification and description. Identification is the brief introduction of the particular place or thing or person, and then the description is the detailed information about that. And then what is about the language feature? The language feature, we always use like a specific participant, just like my house, Borobudur, or maybe particular place or person. And then the use of adjective to clarify the noun. For example, beautiful beach, handsome man, and then the use of simple present, of course, because we tell the general truth, so we have to use simple present. And then the last is we have to use action verb. This kind of verb is used to show an activity. For example, run, sleep, walk, etc. Okay, so that is the social function, generic structure, and the language feature. Okay, student, in this part, we will try to notice a descriptive text entitled Tanjung Puting National Park, yeah? Based on the generic structure that we have learned just now, what do you think? Where is the identification and where is the description? Okay? Yeah, you're right. The first paragraph is become the identification. Tanjung Puting National Park is an internationally famous ecotourism destination. And then the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth paragraph is become a description for this topic. Okay, great. And then now, to enrich your vocabulary, try to do this. Okay, and then your first task is, I have several blank space, yeah? Okay, you have to try to complete that sentences. Okay, I call it vocabulary builder. So, based on the text you have read, try to complete the sentences. Okay, after you complete the sentences, you have to try to answer the following comprehension question. And the last part, after reading the text, you have to complete the chart below. You have to try to identify the main idea of the paragraph and then the summarize and the most important detail in your own word. Okay, yeah? Okay. After we learn about descriptive text, do you know how to describe an interesting place? Yeah, okay. And then the second, do you know how to write about an interesting place? Yeah, of course you know, yeah, because you have understood the generic structure, yeah. And then can you do all the exercises here? Task 1, task 2, and task 3. Okay, which part is the most difficult one? Okay, menurut kalian yang paling sulit yang mana? Okay, and then can you do the part well? Okay, and then the last is, what is your plan to increase your ability in describing an interesting place? So I do hope that you always try to write this, although it is a simple one at home, yeah? Okay, and then the second section is listening and speaking, guys. In this section, we'll try to speak up, yeah? Yes, I do hope that you're active. And then before we continue to our main material, what is your favorite tourism object, guys? Okay, have you ever visited the TMII or Taman Mini Indonesia Indah? What is interesting or not interesting about the place? Okay, why I ask you about TMII? Because in this section we will learn about TMII. Okay, yeah? This is the monologue, yeah? I will read the monologue and then you have to complete. Okay, you have to complete the blank space. Okay, you ready? Taman Mini Indonesia Indah or TMII is a culture-based recreational area located in East Jakarta. It has an area of about 250 acres. The park is miniature of Indonesian culture with virtually all aspects of daily life in Indonesia's province. There are many spirit pavilions with a collection of Indonesian architecture, clothing, dance, and tradition. Apart from that, there is a lake with a miniature of the archipelago in the middle of it. Cable cars, museums, Keong Mas IMAX Cinema, the theater called the Theater Tanah Airku, and other recreational facilities which make TMII one of the most popular tourist destinations in the city. Student, have you finished complete the blank space? Okay, then try to answer the following question based on the text you have heard, yeah? Okay, I give you 5 minutes to answer this question. Okay, have you finished? Okay, good. Let's continue to the next material. This is the best part in this section. You know, it is time to speak, student. Okay, so what must you do in this section? You have to try to identify or describe your most interesting. You have to try to describe or to tell me the most interesting place. Notice this example. Last month I went to Central Java. There are a lot of interesting places there. One of them is Borobudur Temple. Borobudur Temple is blah 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 blah, like that. Okay, yeah. Now it's time for you to talk about interesting place with your friends. Maybe I can help you by asking, have you visited an interesting place recently, or what make it interesting? And then I give you 15 minutes to try to describe it. this is our last section. This is our last part in this section. After we try to do a listening section, and then I'll ask you what have you learned from this session, and then can you do all the exercise? Okay, and then if not, what is your plan to solve your problem? Okay, if you can, what is your plan to increase your English competence? Okay, thank you. Okay, good. And in this last meeting, we will try to learn how to write and present the descriptive text. Okay, before we do the next material, I just want to ask you, do you know the big photo behind me? Yeah? Do you know? Do you ever hear about Niagara Falls? Yeah, air terjun Niagara. Okay, where is the Niagara Falls located? Okay, do you know what is the most interesting part of Niagara Falls? Let's check this out in this descriptive text. Okay, read it carefully. You can open your module Ajar. You can open your module Ajar if you can see the text clearly. You can open the module Ajar, and then after you read this kind of text, yeah, after you read the Niagara Falls, try to complete the following chart. Yeah, I divided into 5 parts. Yeah, introductory paragraph and 5 supporting paragraph. Okay, try to write down the purpose and the detail of the text. Okay, student, after you finish the first task, yeah, and then I call it the most interesting part in this section, because in this section we will try to do a collaborative description. Okay, yeah, now imagine an interesting place. Imagine an interesting place that you've visited. Okay, write it down. Okay, and then you need only to write keyword or sentence about that place. For example, Candi Borobudur, or Kuta Beach, or maybe Masjid Istiqlal, or maybe Bung Karno's grave. Yeah, when I clap my hands, stop writing and give your paper to your friends on your right. Okay, at the same time you will receive a paper from your friends. At the same time you will receive a paper from your friends on yourself. Read your friend's keyword or sentence and continue writing another keyword or sentence. Yeah, do you understand what I mean? And then when I clap again, give the paper to your friends. Do this until your paper is back to you. Okay? Then the final step is read the description, and then what do you think? It is complete enough? Okay, and then based on those keyword and sentence, then make a descriptive text. Do you understand? Okay, you can do it now. Okay, student, finally we are at the last part of this section. Before we close our meeting today, I just want to know what do you think before you study this chapter, and then when you studied this chapter, and then after you studied this chapter. Okay, write it down, use it as a reflection, and don't forget, feel free to call me, feel free to text me if you find difficulties when you learn this chapter. Okay, student, thank you very much. See you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.